From sparky rotating 360 degrees to golems wearing colorful collars around their neck, the history of Clash Royale is extremely rich. Each card has an amazing story, and today we're looking at 117 history facts, one for each card in Clash Royale. Let's begin. The Knight is the subject of only 2 emotes in Clash Royale. But one of those emotes, the Cheering Knight, was used more than 205 million times in a single season back in 2021, making it the most used emote in Clash Royale. That's a lot! On 19th September 2016, the Archer's card description was changed slightly, something not many people would have noticed. A maintenance break on 30th July 2020 finally added a render to the Spear Goblins' card info screen. Did you know that the Bomber used to look like this before its release in the actual game? Skeletons were originally 3 in number. Then a balance update in February 2017 increased the number of skeletons spawned to 4. Due to this, the card became too overpowered, and 4 months later, Supercell had to reduce the skeletons count back to 3. In the French and Japanese settings of the game, the minions' name translates to gargoyles. Who would have thought? Goblins have a total of 27 emotes in the game, which is the highest out of all cards ever since emotes were introduced. Which one is your favorite? In a special Clash Royale season back in 2022, the Barbarians card image and render were made pixelated for a month. Ever since its introduction on 2nd November 2020, the Electro Spirit is the only card in Clash Royale which hasn't received even a single balance change. That's what you call an achievement! Skeleton Dragons were originally unlocked in the Spooky Town arena. They were later moved to Pekka's Playhouse and then finally to Spell Valley. The original card description of bats used to read as 5 tiny flying creatures with big ears. Having big ears doesn't mean they listen. Asked to stop attacking you. Fire Spirits were completely reworked in June 2021. The card's elixir cost was changed to 1 and its count was reduced to 1 from 3. The single Fire Spirit had buffed stats to make up for the reduced count. Before their initial release, the Royal Recruits used to cost 6 elixir.
The recruits were way too strong and not fun, so the entire...
Following the players' outrage that the card was too broken, their elixir cost was increased to 8. The change was worse for the card, and in December 2018, the Royal Recruiter's cost was decreased to 7 elixir finally. Before December 2017, the Skeleton Barrel dealt no death damage. In the Electrifying update, the Skeleton Barrel received some death damage to make it somewhat viable. In June 2021, Royal Giant became the only card in the game in which an emote was changed. Well, it certainly looked cooler before. In the Spanish settings of the game, the Ice Spirits card description says, "Winter is coming," which is a reference to the legendary series Game of Thrones.
Winter is coming.
The Goblin Gang used to have 3 Spear Goblins, but in the June 2017 update, Clash Royale reduced that number to 2. Ever since Touchdown game mode was introduced in Clash Royale, elite barbarians in Touchdown have worn American football helmets instead of their regular helmets. In the Firecrackers intro video, it was revealed that she was inspired by Penny from Brawl Stars. They both share the same attacking mechanic.
Penny shoots her little coin purse thing from her cannon.
Coins,
Yeah, and it hits other brawlers behind. So we were like, hey, let's take that idea and steal it.
While the projectile attack of minions in Clash of Clans comes from their mouths, in Clash Royale it comes from their fists instead. But what are they throwing? Before March 2019, the Rascals would actually drop altogether, but now the Rascal Boy spawns before the Rascal Girls, thus shielding them from the first attacks of troops. In an old Clasherama comic strip, the mini P.E.K.K.A is confirmed to be the child of the P.E.K.K.A. Cute, right? Did you know that back in 2016 the Musketeer actually used to cost 5 elixir? According to the Art of Supercell, which is Supercell's official book, the giant was originally supposed to be blue. I wonder what that would have looked like in the actual game. The Valkyrie's card render was changed back in June 2021. Personally, I like this render more. The Mega Minion was the first card in Clash Royale which was introduced in the game along with a special offer in the shop. The Battle Ram is the only Barbarian-related card which does not have the word Barbarian in its name. The wizard's loading screen reads as, "There are tales of a mechanical wizard from a distant land." This might be a reference to the wizard character skin for Barley in Brawl Stars. The Flying Machine's card render on release used to look like this. It was also originally called Dart Barrel. In 2018, a player called Elsiop used the Hog Rider to win the deciding match of the Clash Royale League Championship.
and nothing to stop the Hog Rider. It's going to get a swing on the tombstone. That's it! Nova is the first ever CRL World Champions!
The Royal Hogs weren't actually meant to be deployed in a straight line. Just before their release, Supercell changed their deploy pattern a bit so that they all dropped in a straight line. The Three Musketeers used to cost 10 elixir. In March 2016, their elixir cost was reduced to 9. The Battle Healer used to hover, meaning that it could cross the river and collide with air troops. The Ice Golem's card description used to read as, "He's tough, targets buildings and explodes when destroyed, slowing nearby enemies. Wears a fashionable collar of coal to match his nose and nails." Before March 30th, 2022, the Dart Goblin render used to look like this. Zappies originally targeted only ground troops. 1 month after their release, they were given the ability to target air units as well. The Healed Spirit was added as a replacement to the Healed Spell, which was removed from the game on 2nd April 2020. On release, the Elixir Golem and the Elixir Golemite used to give 0 elixir to the opponent after being killed, but the Elixir Blobs gave 1 elixir each upon being destroyed. In the August 2022 balance update, the Elixir Golem was reworked. The reworked Elixir Golem gave 1 elixir upon death, while the Elixir Golemites and Elixir Blobs gave 0.5 elixir each. One of the most fun cards in the game, the Goblin Demolisher, was released on 17th June 2024 in the Goblin Queen's Journey update. Before its release, the Suspicious Bush was hinted in one of the Goblin Queen trailers, and we didn't even notice. The God Crown emote is actually a reference to the Clash Universe's Lost and Crowned short film, which was released in September 2020. The baby dragon was actually never going to be released in Clash Royale. The dragon from Clash of Clans was originally planned to be in Clash Royale, but because it was too large and would have covered a major portion of the arena, it was replaced by the baby dragon. Also, we just hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel. A big shout out to every subscriber, and thank you all for showing so much love to the channel. The original number of skeletons in the Skeleton's army was 20. Back in 2016, the Witch used to spawn skeletons 1 level higher than herself. P.E.K.K.A used to cost 8 elixir when she was released in-game, but in February 2016, Clash Royale changed her elixir cost to 7 and also reduced her hit points. The Dark Prince's old card description used to say, dealing area damage with each swing and double after charging. The Dark Prince is a formidable fighter. To harm his squishy core, break his shield first. The Prince was originally supposed to be a rare card. However, before his release, he was changed to an epic card. The balloon's cost was meant to be 4 elixir, but Clash Royale actually changed it to 5 considering how overpowered it would be while being 4 elixir. In November 2016, the giant skeleton received new sound effects. He would now laugh when deployed. There used to be a loading screen hint that said, somebody once told Goblin Giant that the world was gonna roll him. This is a reference to the rock song All Star by Smash Mouth, which was used in the beginning of the Shrek movie. This is also a reference to the fact that the Goblin Giant looks like Shrek. According to a Clash Royale Reddit post, the Hunter was also supposed to have a hook mechanic similar to the Fisherman, but it was dropped and thus the Hunter was created. The Golem in the early days used to wear red or blue colored spiked collars on its neck. In the May 2016 update, the collars were removed and crystals were added on its back. Can we please get the collars back? Through his 2018 intro video and card description, it's implied that the Electro Dragon is the brother to Baby Dragon and Inferno Dragon, and is apparently the middle child. Did you know that Wall Breakers originally used to cost 3 elixir? In October 2020, Electro Giant became the 100th card to be added in the game. On 24th August, a balance update changed the bowler's cost to 5 elixir from 6 elixir. Before March 2017, the Executioner card's render used to look like this. Scary, right? The Cannon card was available in-game through a 2 vs 2 draft challenge. Usually, cards used to get unlocked through 1 vs 1 challenges, so the Cannon card 2 vs 2 challenge was a surprise to many. In an April Fool's prank in 2024, Clash Royale showcased the Mega Knight evolution, which had an infinite jump range, could target air troops, required 0 cycles to deploy, and so much more. Well, that would have certainly made me delete the game. The bandit was used in Sergio Ramos's deck, which he used to win the Crown Championship tournament in 2017.
He's just got to cycle back. Zap lowers it. He needs a poison. He's played 1 card, 2 cards. I think just 2 more cards will bring him the poison and the victory. Sergio Ramos from Mexico is going to be your first ever Clash Royale champion.
Takes it. Sergio Ramos wins.
The Electro Wizard was the first card to be introduced in the game through its own challenge. The Inferno Dragon was first found in Pekka's Playhouse Arena in the game. It was later moved to Builder's Workshop, then to Jungle Arena, and eventually to Electro Valley. Sparky's old card description used to read, "Sparky has a heavy-handed approach in life. Obliterate everything in sight." Ever since his launch, the miner has been nerfed 5 times, and still, the demands for a miner nerf are getting crazier every year. The Princess was the first legendary card to be released in the game alongside the Ice Wizard. The Phoenix was spelled wrong in her card description in February 2023. I mean, how hard can it be to spell Phoenix? Before October 2020, the Royal Ghost didn't have the hover mechanic, meaning it couldn't cross the river. The Ice Wizard's card description used to read, "This chill caster hails from the far north. He shoots ice shards at enemies, slowing down their movement and attack speed." The Magic Archer was involved in the most famous match of the Clash Royale League. We all know which moment I'm talking about.
We have Morton in the lead. If he gets the snowball down and Surge zaps, he still wins. Inferno Tower high. Magic Archer gets a shot. Connecting. Magic Archer gets another shot. Martin trying to get Graveyard on tower. Poison gets down. 784. 1 HP. 1 HP. Oh my God.
On 28th January 2019, the Ram Rider's card description was changed. It used to read, "Herbola snares enemy troops while Ram heads for the nearest building. Rams and hogs don't mingle at parties." Ever since its release, the Lava Hound remains the only card in the game which can't be knocked back. A big thanks to one of my subscribers for pointing this out. The Night Witch, on release, was the most broken card ever in the history of Clash Royale, requiring multiple nerfs within a short span to not break the game. The Lumberjack was extremely weak on release. It was buffed 4 times within the next few months to make it viable. The Mother Witch could be unlocked in Jungle Arena upon release. It was later moved to Miner's Mine in October 2022. The Fisherman used to cost 4 elixir. On 2nd September, a balance update reduced his cost to 3 elixir and decreased his damage by 11%. The Goblin Machine used to be so broken that it was reworked twice within 2 weeks of its release. On 28 April 2022, Clash Royale released a tweet according to which the Golden Knight ability was used more than 121 million times. The Skeleton King could summon up to 20 skeletons when it was released, but it was later nerfed to just 16. When Archer Queen was released, she became the first card to have the highest rarity in both Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. While being a champion card in Clash Royale, she's also a hero in Clash of Clans. The Mighty Miner's Explosive Escape ability used to cost 2 elixir, which was later reduced to 1 elixir on 8th April 2022, 1 week after the card was released. Out of all the champions released till now, the Little Prince has been the cheapest, costing just 3 elixir to deploy. However, his ability is the most expensive, costing 3 elixir as well. The Monk was so overpowered that Clash Royale had to increase his elixir cost from 4 elixir to 5 elixir. The arrows used to shoot only 1 volley, but the November 2019 update changed it to 3 volleys, thus increasing the overall damage of the card. Did you know that there was a time back in 2016 when Zap used to kill goblins in 1 shot, but couldn't reset the Inferno Towers? Before Giant Snowball was released, its damage was actually increased by 15%. The Royal Delivery used to also knock back troops upon drop. This was considered too broken for the game, and the knockback was removed in August 2020. The Fireball's original card image used to look like this back in 2016. When star levels were introduced in December 2018, a goblin was seen riding a star level 3 skin rocket. Looks like he's having fun. The earthquake didn't affect the underground Tesla when it was first released. An earthquake, not damaging something underground. It absolutely makes no sense. In 2016, the Golden Barrel used to cost 4 elixir and also dealt Crown Tower damage. The September 2016 update allowed the lightning to briefly stun enemies for 0.5 seconds. The freeze actually used to look like this when dropped. Its duration also increased by 0.3 seconds every time it was upgraded. The Barbarian Barrel used to cost 3 elixir and could also damage king towers once at least one princess tower was destroyed. The poison spell used to slow down enemies which were under its effect. Although this was removed in October 2016, Clash Royale gave poison this ability back 5 years later due to the decreased usage of the card. The March 2016 update added a fall-off effect to Rage, causing troops to lose the Rage effect if they were out of its area for 2 seconds, whereas previously troops kept the effect permanently. In its promotional video, the Void was revealed to be made accidentally by the 3 wizards. What were those wizards thinking? Before the January 2019 update, the clone troops used to spawn to the right of the original troops. The update made it such that the cloned troops spawned behind the actual troops. On release, the tornado used to last for a whole 3 seconds. Those poor hog riders never hated a spell more. The summer 2018 update changed the mirror such that it could never appear in the starting hand of the player, which was a much necessary change. The Goblin Curse was the first permanent spell in the game which could turn troops into other troops. Before September 2016, the log didn't have the ability to push back every ground troop in the game. The Graveyard's card description used to read, "Unearths a gang of skeletons anywhere in the arena." Spooky. The cannon used to cost 6 elixir during Clash Royale's game launch in 2016. It was changed to 3 elixir 1 month later, and its stats were reduced. The July 2016 update made the elixir collector's production rate to be affected by spell effects like Zap and Rage. The Tesla's card image was changed in April 2019. Before, it used to look like this. In 2016, a Clash-orama episode featured a goblin prisoner which inspired and led to the creation of the Goblin Cage in Clash Royale. The Goblin Hut used to spawn only a single spear goblin per wave. The December 2022 balance update reworked the card such that it would now spawn 3 spear goblins per wave, but the time between the waves was increased from 4 seconds to 10 seconds. The Tombstone used to spawn 6 skeletons when destroyed, which was changed to 4 just after a month of the game's launch. A balance update in March 2019 allowed the Bomber Tower to deal death damage, which made the card a lot more viable. The Inferno Tower used to be available in Pekka's Playhouse. Later it got moved to Spell Valley. The Barbarian Hut's card description used to read, "Troop building that periodically deploys barbarians to fight the enemy. Time to make the barbarians." The Furnace spawned 2 fire spirits per wave before June 2021. In the summer 2021 update, the number of fire spirits per wave was changed to 1, and the spawn time interval was lowered to 7 seconds. The Mortar had an insane lifetime of 60 seconds in 2016, and it also used to cost 6 elixir. When Expo was released during the game's launch, it had the ability to target both air and ground troops. In February 2016, its ability to target air troops was removed, which would actually be a nice change for Expo. The Goblin Drill used to spawn 3 goblins upon death, as compared to the 2 it does now. The Cannoneer's sight range was lower as compared to the Princess Tower upon release, which made the card unreliable. This was addressed in January 2024 when the Cannoneer's sight range was increased to match the Princess Tower. The Dagger Duchess's design is probably inspired by Piper from Brawl Stars. Also, in her trailer, it can be seen that she's also a fan of Crow, who is another character in Brawl Stars. There is so much to explore in this ever-growing world of Clash Royale, but what's the one thing that binds all these characters of the Clash universe together? It's the lore. And if you want to explore the hidden lore of Clash Royale and uncover some of the greatest stories, this video right here is the one for you.